Please tell me your BBL experience.
When I had that BBL, the pain that I had there, I was like, I would never, ever, 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 ever subject myself to that kind of pain ever again. It was something else. It was the worst thing I had ever tried. It was so painful.
I came out of surgery and I saw my butt and my hips. I was petrified.
I have a little sister who got a BBL and regrets it. When I say I thought my sister was gonna die, there were so many women walking with canes. My sister just passed out. There's blood everywhere. I called the emergency room. They're like, yeah, okay, so.
My sit down ear was stinking real bad, and it got to the point to where I had to carry around a bottle of air freshener or a bottle of perfume.
Today we're talking about BBLs, BBL regret, the recovery process, complications, the smell conversation, body trends, and why so many women are now saying they wish they had never done it.
Well, the BBL process is fucking mental.
Yeah.
Like when I see the healing process, I think fair.
Yeah, I mean, we have a story. One of the surgeries we went for, the second one in Turkey.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Mandy, like we literally thought we were dying.
Yeah,
really.
Like we literally, I feel like we almost died. We were bleeding excessively in the hotel room in Turkey.
But when I woke up, Anna, I was on a hospital bed covered in blood.
Mandy was like this on the hospital bed.
Yeah, the whole bed was blood.
Oh my god.
And I was vomiting at the same time.
Nah.
And at the same time I had a cataract, so it's like, it's attached to your bladder or whatever, and then you basically I couldn't pass urine. I was like pissing in a bucket, vomiting and bleeding for like 3 days. And when we went to the hotel,
We were gonna pass out, both of us. We were both like, trying to help each other.
Thank God you were both there.
Yeah, it was really, really scary.
Guys, so I'm done. I got finished surgery at like 1 o'clock. No, I'm lying. I went at 11 something. They text my caretaker at 12:15 that I was 45, like, because they texted her 45 minutes before I was done. Girl, I'm in so much, my booty hurt. Like, that's what really hurt, my booty. Let me show you.
I don't remember the last time I looked in the mirror and actually thought I looked good. I literally live in regrets every single day. If you were thinking about getting a fucking BBL, Reddit of everyone talking about my stomach and how it looks like fucking lipo belly, because if the lighting isn't right and my abs don't look good, apparently it's lipo belly. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I'm in Bora Bora and I looked in the mirror and I felt like shit, so now I'm just gonna sit in the hotel room all day.
BBL stories always start off looking glamorous online, but the second women describe the real experience, the fantasy disappears fast. The pain, the fear, the swelling, the blood, the passing out. This is not just a body upgrade. This is major surgery. And for some women, the moment they woke up and saw their new body was not exciting. It was terrifying.
If I could go back in time, I probably would have never got a BBL, but this is what I would have got instead. Lipo 316, no BBL. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I literally just got a round 2 BBL the other day. And that was just to correct my first round. But if I could go back in time, I would have probably never got a BBL in the first place.
You obviously cannot lay on your back recovering from a BBL, but laying on your stomach is painful because you have all these little like pockets of fluid, and then when you have the board and you lay down face down, the board starts like compressing these pockets and they move, and when they move they burn really bad. Like it feels like somebody's taking like a lighter to your stomach and like you literally wake up like But I am suffering from opioid-induced constipation, but that's okay because my man literally wiped my ass this morning.
I think that the hardest challenge is just getting used to not sitting down. Like right now, I'm squatting. When you drive, you want to get like a cushion. I changed my cushion. I bought like 2 or 3 of them, but the one that I love the most now is inflatable, and you put it underneath your thighs and then some type of support on your back, and then you can drive. But so far, I feel like the recovery isn't too bad. If you have high like pain tolerance, you're gonna be good. Like it's not bad at all. Taking the drains out wasn't bad either. It was just seamless. Overall, I have no complaints. The only thing is just that it's hard to like not sit. You know, you're used to like just doing certain things, like even drinking a cup of coffee. You can't sit down on your couch. You can't sit down and watch TV. You have to lay down. So certain things is tough to get used to.
I keep getting super swollen in my face. Like right now my face is still swollen, but I just put on makeup, but
Usually I wake up like super fucking swollen, and my whole body is really swollen too. And then on top of that, I have to wear these like foams and boards on my body and pads all over my body, and I'm constantly leaking. Like I'm constantly leaking liquid, and that's the most annoying thing about having this BBL, that I'm constantly leaking everywhere, and it's so annoying. You must be thinking, what is leaking? Okay, so when you get a BBL, they make holes in your body. So they make holes in your elbows, and like right here, and then on your butt area. And when you get those, and then you have liquid afterwards, and that liquid constantly leaks from your body, and every day you have to get massages so they could take the leaking away. And you have to wear pads around your body so the leaking will just go to the pads and it won't leak on the floor or anything. But if you go to when you go to bed, you have to put like pads down because you will dirty your bed, and anywhere you lay down, you have to put like pads down because you will be leaking and you will be making a mess with the liquid you have inside your body. I just wanna finish leaking. I just wanna be finished with this fucking liquid in my body.
The recovery is the part people do not talk about enough. You cannot sit normally. You cannot sleep normally. You are swollen, sore, leaking fluid, wearing foams and boards, getting massages, and trying to function while your body feels completely foreign. Some women say it was manageable, but others describe it as one of the worst experiences of their life.
BBL story time, about how I left the country and got a BBL when I was 21 without telling anybody except for my 16-year-old sister, who came out to look after me. Start this story time by telling you that I do not agree with BBLs. I don't think that anyone should get them done. It's not worth your life. And at the time, we didn't really know how dangerous they were because it was quite new back then. I did all the research that a 21-year-old would do. I found my surgeon on this app called Real Self. Within 4 weeks, had paid my deposit and was getting ready to go to Spain to have this BBL. I paid my deposit, was checked my weight again, and then they said I think I needed to put on 5 kg or something stupid before my surgery. My surgery was 4 weeks away. I ate the most and I literally just made it. I booked me and my sister some dusty apartment because I literally spent so much money on the actual BBL. We flew out the day before. I met my surgeon 10-15 minutes before I went down for my surgery, and he was marking at my body. I was shaking. I was so scared. I'm really nervous. And then he was like, I do strippers' bodies all the time. They come back addictive like cocaine. He was swearing in the consultation as he was marking my body up. And this just made me more anxious. This just made me think, what the fuck? Go into the theatre and they tell me to bend forward, and then they give me an epidural. Now, I didn't know I was having an epidural. Obviously, it makes sense that you'd have an epidural, but no one explained it to me. They just started putting a needle in my spine. And obviously, epidurals you have to be really still for, because if you move, you can be paralyzed. I'm like, what's going on? But I didn't want to move because I thought in my head, what if this is an epidural? Then it's going to be bad. Epidural didn't actually hurt, really. And then I was knocked out. Then I wake up from surgery and just feel so nauseous. I get really sick after anesthetic anyway, but I just felt really nauseous. Try and drink, try and eat. They put food in front of me. A ham sandwich of all things. I don't eat meat anyway, but a ham sandwich. So I threw up. I'll just drink water. So I'm drinking all this water, and then I have this feeling that I need to wee, but I can't wee. The nurse was really nice, bless her. She got me up, she tried to help me wee, but I could not wee. Now I have to have a catheter put in. So I've got 2 drains, one on this bum, one on this bum, and a catheter. I thought, I'm never making it out of here. But as time went on, I started to feel a little bit better. It could have only been maybe 2 days, but to me it had been weeks. I finally get my phone back and I messaged my sister and I'm like, I'm okay. And she's like, thank God, I thought you died and stuff, which that's so scary. But I couldn't even message her, so she probably was really scared. Then they let me go home. I get a lift back. They had this driver, and he drove me back to the apartment where my sister was. And they've given me these antibiotics to take home. Obviously, I'm out of it. My sister doesn't really know my medical history. If my mum was there, she would know. They've given me antibiotics that I'm allergic to. So every time I take these antibiotics, I throw them back up. My stomach cramps are so bad, I'm throwing up. So this went on for days, and to the point where I was just too weak to even get up or even swallow them. And I got this thing basically called delirium. And I was so confused. I was dehydrated. I was really unwell. Then my 16-year-old sister ends up FaceTiming my older sister and showing her what I look like. And I was just out of it. It was we need to tell mom, this is really serious. And so they ended up telling my mum, who got the next flight out to come and see me. My mum, when she walked through that door, she looked like an angel. She changed the bed sheets. She'd brought fresh food. She cooked. All I could say was, I'm so sorry. And she was just My mom is that person where she won't shout, but she would be disappointed, and we always say it's so much work. And I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. So then I had to get them 2 drains pulled out, and they just pull them, like yank them, and it was so painful. Not sit for 6 weeks. You really don't know how much you need to sit down for until you're not allowed to sit down anymore. Get home, and a girl messages me on Instagram and tells me that the doctor has been showing people pictures of my Instagram and my before pictures of me naked, so they know who it is. She messaged me and she told me. I was so embarrassed, and I won't go into all the botch stuff now, but like, I did email him pictures and he said that he would give me like a revision. It was never going to happen. Like, now I know how bad it was to do it in the first place.
I got a BBL and I almost died. I went to Mexico. Was I nervous? I was terrified. I was in surgery for double the time that I should have been. I lost a lot of blood. My twin sister and my mother were driving down to Mexico by the time I came out of recovery because they thought I was gone. Everything was seemingly normal for a few days. And then I ended up passing out while getting a massage. I went to go to the hospital to go get checked out, and I didn't get out for another 3.5 months.
Then there's the danger. A lot of women travel out of the country for cheaper surgery, but when something goes wrong, they are far from home, far from their doctors, and sometimes relying on a friend or family member who has no idea what to do. Losing blood, allergic reactions, not being able to pee, needing drains or catheters, this is where the beauty trend becomes a medical emergency.
A warning tonight from a woman who was paralyzed after cosmetic surgery.
She ended up in a wheelchair, and now she's not only taking on the doctor who performed that surgery, but also the center and the post-operation hotel they put her in.
It's very traumatic. It's like you never think about not being able to walk.
She ended up in a wheelchair after she had a Brazilian butt lift at the Dallas Plastic Surgery Institute.
When I first woke up, they were asking me to move, and I couldn't feel my legs.
Why is the Brazilian butt lift the most dangerous procedure in all of cosmetic surgery? In fact, our own American Plastic Surgery Societies say that 1 in 3,500 people undergoing a BBL ends up in a fatality. But why? Why does simply taking some fat out with a cannula, putting some fat right back into another area of the body, into that fat, why could that be fatal? It turns out we have fat throughout the body, but specifically to the buttock, there is a superior gluteal vein and inferior gluteal vein that are just large enough and deep into the muscle that if the surgeon goes beneath the fat into the muscle, they could rupture those veins, and they're just large enough to suck up the fat. The fat works its way up into the heart and lungs. And unlike a blood clot, which is already exceedingly dangerous, now you have a fat clot, which is essentially incurable.
The odor conversation is uncomfortable, but women are bringing it up for a reason. Some say the smell was not from poor hygiene, but from incisions, drainage, infection, or the body rejecting the surgery. Imagine getting a BBL to feel more confident, only to feel embarrassed, isolated, and scared that something is wrong with your body. That is not vanity. That is trauma.
Y'all know that lady that's on here talking about how she got her BBL removed because it stinked?
How I got my BBL surgically removed because my sit down one was stinking real bad. BBL stink, do you hear me? And it's not coming from the vagina or the beehole. It's coming from the incisions that they cut to inject the fluid and the fat in your butt, okay? There's people in the comments saying, oh, you wasn't washing up right. Come on, let's be real. It's coming out of the incision. It fucking stink. I don't care what y'all say. It stink. And if it's not healing properly and your body is rejecting it, the hole will remain open and the drainage will continue to come out and stink up your linen, stink up your underwear, stink up everything, okay?
Let me tell y'all something, okay? You know, me being in the strip club, me being a dancer, you know, you're around a lot of other girls. Some who just have horrible hygiene, and some, it be that motherfucking BBL, okay? Now, there was this girl that I used to work with or whatever, and she was so cool, bro. She was so nice. She's very pretty, cool. On the, like, if we say slim thick versus thick, she was more on the thicker side of things, right? But besides the point, beautiful girl, okay? Did good, okay? Now,
the first time I had ever danced with her, I had been smelling something. Like, I was looking around or whatever. Like, you know, when you smell something, you're like, I know that ain't me. Like, I had smelled it to the point that I went to the dressing room, right? And, like, when I worked at Allure, they used to have these showers all the way in the back when the dressing room used to be on behind the DJ booth, right? I, like, went back there and literally was like, I went to the house mom, like, hey, Ms. Rosalind, it wasn't me, okay? So, like, I didn't realize, like, who it was until I actually started to become cool with this girl, because we had went on a trip together to dance out of town one time, and every time she would go in the bathroom, use the bathroom, she would, like, of course you're supposed to shut the door when you use the bathroom, but when she came out of the bathroom, she would shut the door too, and she would be like, don't go in there. So I'm always thinking the bitch blowing it up, like taking a shit, right? So there was one of the days that we were there, I'm doing my makeup in the bathroom, and she came and she's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, whatever. So me, like, I don't know, maybe I'm different, but if my homegirl doing her makeup in the bathroom, I'll come in and I gotta pee and that's it, I'll just pee. Like, not that big of a deal. And I was like, girl, go ahead. She was like, no, like, yeah. So I'm like, damn, she must got to shit again, y'all. So I come out, she pees, and she comes out fast. Not like it didn't take her shit time. It took pee time. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't long enough for her to take a shit. It was a pee type of, okay, cool. So when she came back out or whatever, she shut the door or whatever. She was like, just wait a second to go in there, whatever. I'm doing my makeup, okay? We're on a time crunch. So I'm like, girl, just spray some air freshener or something. I got, like, you know, I go grab my perfume. I go in there, I start spraying it. But then, like, I start calculating in my head. Oh, she, like, peed and it didn't smell like shit. Like, it smelled like ass, but not ass. Like, ass and... I don't know how to explain it, y'all. I really don't. But I felt really bad because I don't really think that it was ever her personal hygiene. I really think it was her BBL. Some girls, their BBLs reject, okay? And so those incision holes that are around the BBL, right? It's like the stench can come from those. Even when they're shut, you know, as it's rejecting it, it's like it's still oozing out a smell. Holes closed and everything, healed up. It was still like ooze out like a smell, which I ended up looking this up because when this girl gave the story on how she got her BBL removed, I was like, oh, maybe I can speak on it, whatever, because I remember being around somebody like this.
A lot of women say they wish they knew the real cost before getting it done. Not just the surgery cost, but the post-op care, massages, supplies, recovery houses, pillows, boards, fascias, revisions, and sometimes removal. A BBL can change your body, but it can also change your life in ways you were not prepared for. So the real question is, do you want the body? Or do you want the life you think comes with it?
Here are 5 things I wish I would have known before I got my BBL. First thing that I wish I would have known is that my post-op care was going to cost way more than my surgery. If you're on a budget and you have just enough to get the surgery, you don't have enough. Number 2, I would have wished that I knew more about incision placement because I have dots all over my back and I look like a Dalmatian. It's not too bad though, but I wish I would have known better because I would have requested that my doctor put my hip incisions very low, like almost in my bikini line, like near my coochie where you like literally couldn't see it. And then the incisions on my back, I would have asked for them to be lower, and I have like 8 incisions on my back. That was so unnecessary. So I wish I would have been more educated about that. Number 3, I wish I knew about drains. I did not have drains, and I think that my results might have been even more defined if I would have had drains. So I wish that I would have asked my doctor about that before. Number 4, I wish I would have stayed at an all-inclusive recovery house because I would have saved a lot of money, like the beauty headquarters. Because baby, when you are getting recovery, like post-op care, it's so expensive, and I had to bring my own supplies. I had to pay separately for massages, ab board, backboard, lipofoams, BBL pillow, everything was separate, and that was a lot of money. And so I wish I would have just stayed at an all-inclusive recovery house for at least the first 4 to 5 days. Number 5, I wish that I would have got more hips instead of lats. Lats is when your hips start high around your belly button and it gives you that like vixen look. I have a very natural-ish vixen look, but I really wanted just a natural look. Like I wanted more hips than lats. Hips is like, you know, natural, like black girls, Hispanic girls got them hips that don't lie like Shakira. But I have a lat, so it looks like I have ass from the front. Some people like that. I wanted a more like natural, I didn't want you to know I had surgery type of look.
Iron jeans on for the first time without my BBL.
No, I'm really, really happy. I am so happy. It just looks so much better. I look more in proportion. I look more like me. He did say, the surgeon, when he was removing it, he couldn't get all of the fat out that he wanted to do out of my bum and my hips, because the previous surgeon, he said he was scared in case he's put the fat too close to the muscle, which is really, really dangerous. So he took as much out as what he could, not as much as he wanted to. But look.
For years, the exaggerated BBL body was the look. Then suddenly, people started talking about removals, reductions, natural bodies, gym bodies, Pilates bodies, smaller frames, and looking more balanced. But your body is not an outfit you can return when the trend changes. You have to live with it. You have to heal from it. You have to pay for it. You have to deal with the scars, the revisions, the emotional crash, and the reality of what it actually feels like in your body every day. That is why I think the most important question is not just, do I want a BBL? The question is, why do I want one? Do I want this because it genuinely feels right for me? Or did I get convinced that my natural body was not enough? Am I doing this for myself, or am I trying to match a body type that might not even be popular 5 years from now? Have I tried building the body I want naturally, or am I choosing surgery because I feel desperate to look different right now? Those are hard questions, but they matter. So when you put all of these stories together, the conversation is not simply BBLs are bad, or women should never get surgery. The real conversation is about informed consent, beauty pressure, body dysmorphia, social media, and how easily women can be pushed into changing themselves for a body trend. Because yes, some women get BBLs and love their results. Some have smooth recoveries. Some feel more confident. Some feel like it was the right decision for them. That is real. But the regret stories are real too. The women who were in extreme pain. The women who passed out. The women who leaked for days. The women who had infections. The women who dealt with odor from complications, the women who were scared in hotel rooms, the women who got botched, the women who removed their BBL because they wanted to feel like themselves again. Those stories matter because they show the part of the fantasy that does not fit in a before and after picture. A BBL is not just curves, it is surgery. It comes with risk, recovery, aftercare, money, scars, pain, and sometimes consequences that last way longer than the trend itself. And no one should be making that decision based only on Instagram bodies, viral results, or the pressure to have the perfect shape. If someone still chooses surgery after knowing the full reality, that is their body and their choice. But they deserve the full picture first. Not just the pretty results, not just the edited photos, not just the surgeon's highlight reel, the full picture, the pain, the leaking, the not sitting, the swelling, the possible complications, the revisions, the smell if something goes wrong, the mental side, the regret, the cost. The fact that your body may still not feel good enough if the insecurity was never really about your body in the first place. And maybe the bigger question is this: why were so many women made to feel like their natural body needed fixing before they even got a chance to love it? Because the body trend will change again. It always does. But you have to live in your body every day. So I want to know what you think. Are BBLs becoming less popular because people are finally seeing the risks, or are beauty standards just moving on to the next body trend?